Catherine, what did you want to achieve with your Students as Change Agents project and why?
Well, the aim of the project was to create a language learning resource for medical students that was going to be low cost and that would work around their academic schedules. I wanted to carry out the project because I was on the committee for Friends of Médecins Sans Frontières, a student society at Newcastle University, and I'd found that just from discussions with my fellow committee members that there were very few opportunities for medical students to develop foreign language skills. I'm a language student myself, so I'm quite passionate about the benefits that learning languages can offer, and I know that having a second language was often a requirement for students that wanted to do their medical electives abroad or that wanted to work with an international aid organisation such as MSF or Doctors Without Borders in the future.
Could you give us a summary of what actions you took during the research phase of your project?
Yep, so after discussing my project idea with you, Grace, I established a plan for the research phase of the project. This meant making sure that my research methods would help to genuinely reflect the student opinion, and that my questions, for example in my student surveys, would be unbiased towards the response that perhaps I was looking for. And I definitely quickly learned that my ideas regarding the type of language learning resource that could emerge from my project were perhaps at odds with the type of language learning resource that students actually wanted. So instead of asking questions such as, would you be interested in language classes, I instead asked participants to rate different language learning resources in order of preference. So that included language classes, online learning, peer-to-peer learning with student societies and clubs and so forth. And I went on to organise some student focus groups to further develop the research that I'd gained from these student surveys.
So, what impact did the research phase have on your project as a whole?
I think if I hadn't done the research phase of my project, I'm doubtful that I would have achieved the results that I did. The research enabled me to compile a compelling body of evidence, which I was then able to present to language learning providers. So just to say a little bit more about the research phase of my project and how that was beneficial for me, I think firstly conducting research developed my leadership skills, and for example, I had complete autonomy over the project. So I was responsible for planning and organising all aspects of the project. I wouldn't say that I would have associated myself in a leadership role before this project, so that's been really valuable to develop those skills. And I think these are transferable skills that will be useful in my future career. I also had to be quite creative when finding new ways to get interested students in one place and hearing all their views. So this led to negotiations with the university's catering department, resulting in getting free pizzas, which I used as an incentive for students to come along to focus groups. I also made announcements in lectures to inform students about the project and how they could take part in the research, and I created and distributed student surveys. It was a really enjoyable and rewarding process, and it was quite fun to feel like an active member of the student community. And I had a really positive response from students. There was a lot of enthusiasm there, which showed me that a language learning resource was something that was really, important for these students. They were interested in it, and it helped raise the profile of Friends of MSF as a society, so that was great as well. I definitely felt a sense of achievement when my project was successful, and this has really given me a lot of confidence going forward, and I now feel that as I graduate and enter the job market, I will be a lot more forthcoming with any creative ideas that I might have. So, although I'm not planning a career in academic research, I definitely feel that it's been a valuable experience to be involved in research-informed practice.